Welcome back. It is Thursday, April 13th in the MLB. Our two favorite picks are on the way. I'm Austin, joined by Logan, and joined by a special guest today. Logan, get it out. The broom is here. A solid 3-0 sweep in the MLB. We'll take it. Mariners money line, give me that. No sweat bet. Guardians over 2.5, first 5, give me that too. And then our no one first inning was as sweaty as it gets. First and third, no outs. We'll take it. They still came through. The live stream was electric. Logan was there in screenshot format, but it was an electric one. Hopefully we can bring out these brooms once again today. Our favorite picks are on the way. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, do us a favor. I think we crossed the 11 unit mark on the season, so pretty good start. Now we do have a DraftKings offer and get plus 3,000 odds on any team tonight, whether it's in the MLB or any other sport. All you got to do is sign up using our link at the top of the description. Make a $5 money line bet on any team tonight, and you get $150 in site credits if your bet wins. If you want to wait until maybe tomorrow when the NBA games are on, you're welcome to do that. And we will have no NBA video today. Got to get those picks dialed in, but we'll have a video tomorrow. But Logan, you've been hot with the picks. What are you going with today?
I'm going to the Phillies versus Reds game. I'm taking the first 5 innings over 4.5 runs. Minus 108 odds on FanDuel is your best value in this one. Now, similar to Austin's first 5 team total bet, this bet hinges on both teams to score 5 runs through 5 innings, and I expect them to be able to do so. Now, why am I attacking this game in specific? Well, I'm doing some line reading, and I'm like, this is really interesting. They set the first 5 over under to 4.5. I mean, makes sense with the full game over under, but it doesn't make sense for what my eyes saw, because I was at the game the last time these two pitchers faced each other, and it was last Saturday. The score was 1-0 through 8 innings. So yeah, I'm not very good at math, but here we go. 1-0. Nope, that's not going to cash 5 runs, not even through 7 innings. So why do I think they're going to be able to do it today? Well, they do set the line higher for a reason, right? They're not just going to arbitrarily set it higher. And I think there were missed opportunities in that game, right? The Reds 0 for 5, runners in scoring position, 7 left on base, and the Phillies 3 for 6, runners in scoring position, 7 left on base. The Phillies were a little more efficient, but they only got efficient towards the very end of that game. Their offense was MIA for most of it. Now I expect a different result today. Now against Nick Lodolo, he cooked the Phillies in that game. Not going to lie to you, 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 12 strikeouts. Phillies were not seeing him well at all, right? The pressure is on Lodolo to duplicate that performance again, because I expect the Phillies hitters to adjust, right? These Phillies hitters are really good, and it is really, really hard to, as a pitcher, to face the batters that you already had success against, because they're going to be expecting some of the things that you struck them out with the first time around. Expect the Phillies to make the adjustments, right? That's again why I think this line is set higher. And the Phillies, 4th in batting average, 6th in OPS. Their offense was shaky in their last series versus the Marlins. We kept picking the Nerfy in it, and we did have success. But, that was to be expected. The Marlins pitchers are just, they threw all their best pitchers at the Phillies in that series. The Phillies are still good versus lefties, though, right? They're hitting 305 over their last 3 games versus left-handed pitchers. Again, Nick Lodolo is a left-handed pitcher. I expect the batters to be able to see him today and get some hits and runs up on Nick Lodolo this time around that they weren't able to get last time. Now, starting for the Phillies, Bailey Falter. He went 5 innings pitched, only allowed 1 earned run and 2 strikeouts. The 1 earned run he allowed was a solo blast in the first inning, right? Just to ruin the Nerfy, which I'd love to see that. The lack of strikeouts could hurt Bailey Falter today, though, right? He was not missing bats in that game. There were a lot of hard hit balls. He was not getting the soft contact. And Cincinnati, this offense is formidable, right? Doesn't have the household names on it. 11th in batting average, 6th in OPS at home. Also, the Reds hitting 286 versus lefties in their last 3 games. I expect them to be able to get some hits and runs up on Bailey Falter. I expect the run opportunities to be there for both of these two offenses. Now, let's see if they can turn them into runs this time. Last time, obviously, they weren't. But this time in baseball, it's so hard to duplicate the performance, in the outcome that you already saw. That's why, a lot of people might be in the under in this one, but we're going to zig when others are zagging, and we're going to take the over in that one. But Austin, what do you got for us today?
Yeah, Logan, I'm actually going to be on the same kind of wavelength as you. I'm going to another over, but it's in the latest game on the slate. It is the Brewers and Padres. I'm taking the full game over 8.5 runs. I don't care how they get there. We need 9 runs, and it could be in extra innings. It could be in the first 5 innings. I don't care how it gets done. We need 9 runs. Now, for whatever reason, maybe by the time that you're watching this video, they have lines, but FanDuel and DraftKings didn't have a line for this game. I don't really imagine this goes up to 9, but if it does, you can take it up there or maybe take an alt line here. Now, let's talk about this game because we got a couple 2 pitchers pitchers that I don't trust a whole lot, which is why I'm leaning towards the over. Now, when you look at, I really tend to stray away from these high over-unders because there are games that are going to go out there, they'll have an over-under at 8.5, and they'll come out and they'll score maybe 3 runs combined and you'll just look like a clown. But I think there's potential here because Eric Lauer, let's start with him. Now he's starting for the Brewers. This season hasn't been too great. 7.71 ERA, 1.82 whip. He's allowed 3 homers through 9 innings in his 2 starts. And last year on the road, he was much worse than he was at home. 4.76 ERA and a 1.37 whip. So obviously not a great start this year. Obviously, if he had those numbers this year, he'd probably say, all right, it's all right. But it was not good on the road last year, and he still hasn't really dialed in with the pitch clock and all these things. He has had 2 and 3 walks in his first 2 starts. And we look at a team like the Padres, they got a lot of annoying batters. They got guys that are they'll put the bat on their shoulder and say, yo, if you're not going to throw us a good pitch, we're not swinging at it. AKA Juan Soto. His batting average not great this year, but his on-base percentage is very high because he's just sitting there looking at the pitches and taking his free bases. And if you get free bases to this Padres team, they got firepower up and down through the lineup to put it into the bleachers. This is the Padres stadium that is very hitter-friendly, and I think that kind of works both ways because I think the Brewers are a team that's always chasing for home runs. Now, while they don't have the best batting average versus left-handed pitchers, Lauer is a lefty. Padres, 6 homers off lefties. That's 5th most in the MLB. That's what they're chasing for. Now, on the other side, it's going to be Nick Martinez starting for the Padres. He's kind of a hit or miss start to his year. Last year was very hit or miss. Sometimes he'd have good starts, sometimes he'd have bad starts. But so far, 6.17 ERA, 1.46 whip. He's allowed 4 earned runs in both of his 2 starts this year. He's also, in his last start, walked 5 batters. That's ideal for us for taking it over. If you're going to put free base runners on there, the Brewers are a talented team. The Brewers are, you might not know, very similar to a team like the Reds. You might know a couple of the Brewers hitters like Rowdy Tellez, Christian Yelich, but they got a lot of guys in there that you might not have heard of, but can put the ball in the bleachers if you miss your spots. And we see the Brewers, 6th best batting average, 2nd best on base percentage, first right-handed batters. The Brewers, like I said, are going to chase for those home runs, but this is a hitter-friendly ballpark that I think they can get it done. Now, when we get out of the first 5 innings and the pitchers are done, unless we got, an absolute collapse by one of the pitchers and they give up like 7 earned runs, we're going to have to need some bullpen runs late. And I think there's opportunities. Now, the Padres bullpen, very mediocre. We're hitting a 4.12 ERA. They're right about average in the league. Now, the Brewers bullpen is rocking the best ERA in the majors at a 1.37. Now, and personally, I don't think the Brewers bullpen is that good. I think they're due a little bit of regression, and maybe that regression comes today. But I just don't really trust this Brewers as the best bullpen in the league. We knew them last year. They traded away some of their relievers, and I just don't really trust that bullpen 100%. Sure, they've been great to start the year, but like we've talked about, it's only 11, 12, 13 game sample size. So we're not looking at a big sample size here. I think those numbers even out, and maybe there's a little bit of evening out today. But hopefully Lauer and Martinez give out some meatballs that you can put in the bleachers. I've talked about this pre-game with Logan. Look, there's no NBA on today. This is a big day for the MLB to maybe bring in some fans. So would it be crazy to say, hey, let's put out the juice balls. Let's get some home runs. Let's get these high scores. Hopefully, maybe we'll get a little bit of that. Now, I'm not saying that's what the MLB does, but hey, I've seen crazier things. So hopefully we see some runs flying in both of our games. But Logan, let's get out the flags. And unfortunately, the flags are really non-existent today, but we'll have them out at least. We're going to wave the flags. Now, unfortunately, today we're not going to have a no-run first inning. Look, we're not going to come on here and try to pick one and just, close our eyes, just throw a dart. That's kind of what they are, but when you don't like any of them, I say it's better to just lay off. There's only, a couple games on today. Now I'm going to let Logan talk about a couple that he leaned on, but I didn't like any of the ones he leaned on. And so, Logan, you can take it away. I'll let you talk about a couple that you like, but we're just going to lay off and not have an official nerfy for the day.
Yeah, we considered these, right? And now when Austin and I picked the no-run first inning for the behind-the-scenes look for all of you guys, we collaborate on this pick. We say, do you like this one? Do you like this one? And Austin and I truly couldn't find one we agreed on today, so we're not going to force that bet. We respect you. We work all hard for our money. We're not going to just throw it away on a blind guess. But 2 that I did consider and I tried to pitch to Austin was Detroit versus Toronto. Now that one's nasty, and I mean nasty with the 2 starting pitchers ridiculously high ERAs. But if you look at the odds on that one, seems like a Yurfie odds trap, because Nerfy odds traps exist when 2 aces are on the mound. Also, Yurfie odds traps exist when 2 really bad pitchers are on the mound. And I think those 2 pitchers are actually very capable of getting the 3 outs they need. So that one's sort of a line read Nerfy. And then the other one is Boston versus Tampa Bay. Eventually, the Rays offense is going to cool off and not run first inning as much as they are doing. But it's not going to be us trusting Corey Kluber to get that job done, because that's a nasty bet. I mean, the odds on it make sense, and I do think the Rays bats they're obviously due regression, but I'm just not going to try to stand in front of the Nerfy buzzsaw. And in the parlay of the day, I don't know, I might try to stand in front of the buzzsaw. But not in the Nerfy Nation category. We're just not going to force one today. I'm sure you guys definitely will respect that.
Yeah, like I said, I don't hate either of them. Logan kind of touched on them. Turnbull already screwed us once on the no on first inning, so I don't want to go back to that. Tigers, Blue Jays won, but you're kind of banking on hopefully the Blue Jays not scoring. But Chris Bassett hasn't been good in his regard either. And then Corey Kluber, I can't do it. I can't. But I hopefully, if you are a degenerate and you bet either of them, maybe hopefully they hit. But we will not have a live stream. We will not have an official Nerfy pick. We've hit 3 in a row. We're just gonna wait till the Marlins and Phillies play next. I don't know when that is on the schedule, but we'll bring back the Nerfies when that happens. But that's all joking aside. We're gonna ride with our 2 picks: the over in the Brewers Padres game at 8.5, and the Reds and Phillies over 4.5 in the first 5 innings, sometimes known as the first half, depending on your book. But let's go 2-0. Let's keep this hot streak going. Let's bring out the broom again tomorrow, and we'll wave the flags tomorrow. Maybe we'll give you 2 Nerfy picks because we want to. Well, let's have a great day. We'll see you guys back in tomorrow for some more picks. See you guys then. Peace out.